People will only treat you how you allow them to treat you. If you act like a doormat, don't be shocked when people step all over you. The truth is, people test you every single day to see how much of you they can take advantage of. The more you let it slide, the more they think it's acceptable. Life doesn't reward you for being silent while you are mistreated. It rewards you when you finally stand tall and say enough. You have to understand, respect is not automatically given. It's earned through how you carry yourself. If you keep letting people talk down to you, use you, and take advantage of your kindness, then you are teaching them it's okay to keep doing it. And let me tell you, once you set that standard, it's very hard to break it. You have got to decide that you are not going to be the one who always bends just to keep the peace while you are losing yourself in the process. There comes a point in life where you have to realize your silence isn't strength, it's weakness. Too many people confuse being quiet with being noble. No, it's not noble to let people disrespect you. It's not noble to shrink just so others can feel comfortable around you. You were not placed on this earth to be everybody's punching bag. Sometimes standing up for yourself means you are going to lose people. But if standing up for yourself scares them away, then they weren't meant for you in the first place. You can't keep sacrificing your dignity just to keep people in your life. People who truly love and value you will never force you to betray yourself just to keep them happy. You also need to understand the difference between kindness and weakness. Being kind doesn't mean you let people run you over. Being humble doesn't mean you become invisible. You can be the most loving, kind-hearted person in the world and still have boundaries that protect your self-respect. Don't ever let the world convince you that standing up for yourself means you are being rude. Life will always mirror back to you the energy you give it. If you keep walking around like a victim, life will hand you situations that keep you stuck in that role. But when you start walking with your head high, demanding better, expecting better, and refusing less, doors start opening differently. People start treating you differently. You start seeing yourself differently. The moment you decide you have had enough is the moment you start shifting the entire direction of your life. Change doesn't start when people suddenly treat you better. Change starts when you stop allowing disrespect to continue. You teach people how to handle you by what you accept and what you reject. There will come moments in your life where staying silent will cost you more than speaking your truth. Too many people keep their mouths shut because they don't want to cause waves. But what they don't realize is that silence allows the wrong things to keep happening. If something is not right, if something doesn't sit well with your spirit, you cannot sit back and swallow your voice. That voice is the tool that was given to you to defend your dignity, your dreams, and your future. Some people will try to convince you that speaking up makes you difficult, that it makes you a problem. But the truth is it only makes you free. You cannot keep holding everything inside just to keep other people comfortable. Every time you bite your tongue when you should be speaking truth, you are suffocating a little more of who you really are. And eventually you are left with frustration, anger, and regret that you never dared to say what needed to be said. The world doesn't reward silence in the face of injustice. Closed mouths don't get fed. Opportunities don't come to people who refuse to raise their hands, ask the question, or demand what they deserve. Your silence will starve your progress. And while you are quiet, someone with less experience, less talent, and less ability is out there speaking up and getting everything you were afraid to claim. It's not about arguing with everyone or trying to prove yourself in every conversation. It's about knowing when the moment matters. There are certain times in life when your future is on the line, when your worth is being diminished, when your boundaries are being crossed, and in those moments, your silence can destroy you. That's when you have to open your mouth and make sure the world knows you will not be overlooked. Fear will try to shut you down before you even begin. That voice in your head will whisper, what if they don't listen? What if they laugh at you? What if they reject you? But the real question is, what if they do listen? What if they respect you more? What if you finally get what you deserve? Too many lives have been wasted in silence because fear controlled the outcome before a word was ever spoken. You don't need the loudest voice in the room to make an impact. You just need the courage to use your voice at the right time. The right words spoken at the right moment can shift your entire destiny. Speaking up when it matters doesn't just protect your opportunities. It strengthens your confidence, it builds your character, and it sends a clear message that you value yourself enough to be heard. Every time you find the courage to speak up, you set a new standard for how people handle you. People begin to understand that your silence can no longer be bought with fear, guilt, or pressure. They realize you are no longer afraid of confrontation when your respect, seats, and your peace are at stake. Too many people are stuck in life because they are waiting for someone else to tell them it's okay to move. They keep waiting for the boss to give them approval, for the family to nod their head, for the world to clap before they start walking in their purpose. But here's the truth. Nobody is coming to hand you a certificate that says you are now allowed to live your life. That moment doesn't exist. And if you keep waiting for it, years will pass while you remain in the same place. The biggest trap is thinking you need validation before you take action. That's why people scroll endlessly, post for likes, and beg for confirmation before they make a move. But the longer you wait for the world to approve of you, the more opportunities you are letting slip through your hands. Every successful person you see today didn't wait for someone to clap for them before they got started. They decided and then they moved. Waiting for permission is rooted in fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of being wrong. But fear has never put food on the table. Fear has never built a business. Fear has never written a book, started a dream, or created a legacy. Fear only delays, distracts, and destroys. You can't let fear convince you that you are not ready until someone else says you are. The truth is, nobody is ever truly ready. You just have to leap and figure it out as you go. When you live your life waiting for permission, you are putting your future in someone else's hands. You are giving them the power to decide how far you go. And let me tell you, not everybody wants to see you rise. Some people benefit from you staying small. Some people are comfortable when you stay quiet, safe, and stagnant. If you are waiting for them to cheer for you, you are going to be waiting forever. You have to realize that hesitation is costing you more than failure ever will. Every time you hold back, that's one more dream you are not chasing, one more chance slipping away, one more season wasted. Failure can teach you, grow you, and redirect you. But hesitation, that only keeps you stuck in the same cycle, wishing and wondering what could have been. The freedom you are looking for is on the other side of action, not permission. Once you take that first step, you will see that nobody was stopping you but yourself. Life has a way of opening up doors for the bold, not the hesitant. The moment you stop waiting for someone else's green light and start moving on your own, the game changes. There will always be people who doubt you, question you, or tell you to slow down. And if you let their voices hold more weight than your own, you will always be living in chains. The day you stop asking, is it okay if I chase this, and start declaring, this is what I'm going after, is the day you finally take ownership of your destiny. Boundaries are not negotiable. They are the lines that protect your peace, your energy, and your life. Too many people run around trying to make everyone happy, sacrificing themselves in the process. They say yes when they want to say no. They compromise when they should stand firm, and they stay silent when their limits are crossed. But boundaries are what separate the people who respect you from the people who take advantage of you. Setting boundaries isn't about being mean or harsh. It's about being clear about what is acceptable and what isn't. When you say, this is my time, my space, my energy, and I value it, people learn how to treat you. You don't have to explain it 100 times. You don't have to beg for them to understand. Boundaries are simple rules for how you expect your life to be respected. Too many of us grow up believing and we have to accommodate everyone, tolerate every behavior, and never rock the boat. But here's the truth. People will push you as far as you allow them. If you never set limits, they will test you every single day. And before you know it, you are exhausted, frustrated, and feeling invisible. Boundaries are not selfish. They are survival. The fear of rejection often keeps people from setting boundaries. They worry that if they speak up or say no, people will leave or get angry. But let me tell you something. The people who truly belong in your life will respect your limits. They won't resent you for valuing yourself. They will admire you. It's those who can't handle your boundaries that were never meant to stay anyway. Boundaries also teach people how to interact with you without harming the relationship. They make your expectations clear, and they protect you from being drained emotionally, mentally, and physically. When you start implementing boundaries, you begin to realize that you can love people and care for them without sacrificing your own well-being. You don't need to apologize for protecting yourself. Saying no, walking away from toxicity, and defending your time is not a crime. Too often people carry guilt for doing what is right for themselves, but the truth is, every time you honor your limits, you are honoring your life. You are showing yourself that you are worthy of respect and care. Boundaries are not walls, they are gates. They allow the right people, opportunities, and energy in while keeping the wrong people and distractions out. Every boundary you set is a declaration that your life is yours to protect and your peace is non-negotiable. The people you surround yourself with will determine the trajectory of your life. Too many of us underestimate the power of our circle. You can have talent, drive, and vision, but if you are walking with the wrong people, they will pull you down faster than any obstacle ever could. Energy is contagious and negativity spreads like wildfire. You must choose who you spend your time with carefully. There's a reason some people never move forward. They are stuck in a circle that is comfortable but toxic. Comfort can feel safe, but safety without growth is stagnation. If your friends don't believe in your dreams, don't challenge you, or don't push you to become better, then they are silently holding you back. Growth requires people who stretch you, not people who limit you. Watch how people respond when you start winning. Some will celebrate with you, genuinely excited about your progress. Others will act jealous, dismissive, or indifferent. That's when you realize who your true circle is. The wrong people will hate to see you grow because it exposes their own lack of ambition, fear, or laziness. Protect your energy by recognizing early who belongs in your corner. It's not about cutting everyone off or being isolated. It's about being intentional about who you let influence your mind, your emotions, and your actions. You can't grow in an environment where people are constantly doubting you or dragging you into drama. Your circle should inspire, motivate, and push you to be more than you were yesterday. Sometimes choosing your circle means letting people go. It's painful, but necessary. Some friends, family members, or colleagues may have been around for years, but if they are holding you back, it's time to move on. Growth is not cruel. It's necessary. The right people will respect your progress and even rise with you, while the wrong people will resent it and try to slow you down. Pay attention to how your circle talks about life. Are they constantly complaining, criticizing, or spreading negativity? Or are they solution-oriented, driven, and focused on building something bigger? The energy you allow into your life will either lift you or drag you down. If you want to succeed, you have to surround yourself with people who fuel your fire, not extinguish it. Your circle is more than just friends. It's mentors, colleagues, and even casual acquaintances who influence your mindset. Every person you interact with leaves a mark on your energy. If you spend most of your time with people who doubt, criticize, or fear growth, you will subconsciously start to mirror that. Choose wisely and watch your life start to shift. Fear of losing people is one of the strongest chains holding people back. Too many of us stay silent, compromise our values, or sacrifice our dreams because we're scared someone might leave. But here's the reality. If someone leaves when you start standing up for yourself, they were never meant to stay. Fear of loss will keep you trapped in relationships, friendships, and environments that are slowly draining your life. When you stop fearing loss, you start gaining freedom. Freedom to make choices that are right for you. Freedom to pursue your dreams without guilt. And freedom to grow without asking permission. Life is not about pleasing everybody. It's about being true to yourself. The people who matter will respect that, and the ones who don't belong in your story. Holding on to people out of fear keeps you small. It keeps you playing a role that wasn't designed for you, living a life that isn't yours, and tolerating behavior that disrespects your worth. When you finally accept that people come and go and that loss is part of life, you start making decisions that elevate your life instead of suffocating it. Sometimes letting people go is the ultimate act of love for both you and them. You release them from being responsible for your happiness, and you release yourself from carrying the weight of their expectations, criticisms, or negativity. Growth cannot happen when fear of abandonment rules your choices. Real love and real respect thrive only in spaces of freedom. It's hard in the moment, but clarity comes when you recognize that some people are only in your life to teach you lessons. They are not meant to stay forever. Once you embrace that truth, you start prioritizing quality over quantity. You start valuing people who uplift, inspire, and encourage, and you stop wasting energy on those who hold you back. Being afraid to lose people also blinds you to opportunity. You may stay in a job, relationship, or friendship that isn't serving you simply because you fear the unknown. But life rewards the brave, the people willing to step away from what no longer serves them and move toward what could. Fear keeps you small. Courage sets you free. You have to remember that your life is yours to lead. You cannot allow the presence or absence of someone else to dictate your decisions, your happiness, or your growth. People will come and go, and some may leave when you stand up for yourself, but that is part of the journey. The ones who belong in your life will stay, support you, and rise with you, and the ones who don't were never meant to be part of your path. Too many people go through life blaming their circumstances, their past, or other people for where they are. They point fingers, make excuses, and wait for someone else to fix their mess. But the truth is, the moment you start owning your decisions, you take control of your life. Every choice you make, good or bad, is yours. And acknowledging that is the first step to a real freedom. Owning your decisions doesn't mean you are perfect. It means you accept responsibility for the outcomes of your actions. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. Life will throw challenges, setbacks, and mistakes in your path, but the power to act, adjust, and keep moving forward rests entirely in your hands. People who refuse to own their decisions spend their lives playing the victim. They wait for rescue, they hope for a second chance, and they complain endlessly. The reality is nobody is coming to rescue you. Nobody is coming to live your life for you. The only person who can make the right choices for your future is you. And the sooner you accept that, the faster you will start to move forward. Owning your decisions also means embracing the consequences. Sometimes you make the wrong move, sometimes you fail, and sometimes things don't go as planned. But instead of pointing fingers or looking for someone to blame, you stand tall and say, I made this choice and now I will deal with it. That mindset separates leaders from followers, winners from losers, and people who grow from people who stay stuck. Every decision you make shapes your life, your mindset, and your destiny. You are the architect of your future, and every choice is a brick in the building of your life. If you keep letting others decide for you, you will never construct the life you are meant to live. Ownership of your decisions is the foundation of independence, confidence, and power. People often underestimate the strength it takes to own their choices. It's easier to blame the circumstances or other people than it is to accept responsibility. But the truth is, strength is built in the moments when you stand alone, take full accountability, and refuse to let fear or doubt dictate your path. Strength grows when you say, this is my life, my decision, and I will handle the results. Once you start owning your decisions, you notice a shift in everything around you. Your confidence grows, your clarity sharpens, and your focus intensifies. You stop wasting time and energy trying to justify your actions to others because you know that the only opinion that matters is your own. And when you live like that, every decision becomes a step toward the life you are truly meant to lead. Too many people live their lives trying to fit in, trying to follow the crowd, and trying to blend into a world that will never truly appreciate them. But the truth is, being different is where greatness is born. If you keep trying to fit in, you are never going to stand out. And if you never stand out, you are never going to be remembered. Life rewards the bold, the unique, and the courageous, those willing to embrace what sets them apart. Being different often means standing alone, and that can be scary. People may judge you, criticize you, or even try to pull you back into the comfort of conformity. But remember, Comfort never builds champions. Comfort never produces legends. If you are afraid to be different, you are afraid of living fully, of living authentically, and of tapping into the power that only you were created to wield. The world is filled with people who try to fit in and lose themselves in the process. They followed trends, sought approval, and mirrored others instead of listening to their own voice. And in the end, they ended up unnoticed, unfulfilled, and frustrated. Trade it. Don't let that be you. Your differences are not a weakness. They are your advantage, your superpower, and your ticket to creating a life that only you can create. Being different also means taking risks that others won't take. It means thinking differently, acting differently, and making decisions that challenge the status quo. People will call you crazy, foolish, or arrogant, but those are exactly the people who will never achieve what you are capable of. Greatness is never comfortable, and it is never mainstream. When you embrace your uniqueness, you start attracting the right people, opportunities, and experiences into your life. The world has a way of rewarding originality. Doors that remain closed to the ordinary swing wide open for those who dare to be themselves. And while it's tempting to try to change for approval, the moment you accept yourself as you are, your confidence skyrockets and your influence grows. Fear of being different is the root of most mediocrity. People stay stuck because they don't want to stand out, they don't want attention, and they don't want criticism. But every successful person you admire started as someone who refused to follow the crowd, who refused to be silenced, and who refused to dim their light just to make others comfortable. Being different is not about being loud or trying to shock people. It's about being unapologetically yourself, fully embracing your identity, and following your own path no matter how unconventional it seems. Difference is not a flaw. It's the mark of someone willing to lead their life instead of living by everyone else's rules. Too many people spend their lives trying to justify their choices to others. They feel the need to explain their actions, defend their decisions, and earn approval for the way they live. But here's the truth. You don't owe anyone an explanation for living your life on your terms. Your life is yours, and no one else gets to dictate how you should spend it, think it, or feel it. Explaining yourself constantly only gives other people power over you. When you justify your every move, you hand them control of your emotions, your confidence, and your decisions. People will always have opinions, criticism, or doubts, and no amount of explanation will satisfy everyone. The moment you realize that, you begin to free yourself from the chains of other people's expectations. Some of the loudest critics in your life are the ones who have never walked in your shoes. They don't know your struggles, your vision, or the sacrifices you have made. Yet they feel entitled to tell you what you should do, how you should feel, or why you are wrong. When you constantly try to explain yourself, you are giving them an invitation to continue judging instead of standing firm in your own truth. Stop trying to convince people of your worth. Stop defending your dreams, your pace, or your methods. People who truly support you don't need explanations. They believe in you regardless. The people who question, doubt, or criticize are not the audience you need to please. Your energy is too valuable to be spent justifying your life to the wrong people. Every time you explain yourself unnecessarily, you slow down your progress. You waste mental energy, emotional strength, and precious time defending decisions that only you can make. Imagine what you could achieve if that energy were focused on action instead of justification. Confidence grows when you live unapologetically without feeling the need to explain, clarify, or defend every move. It's not arrogance to not explain yourself. It's clarity. Clarity about who you are, what you stand for, and what you are willing to tolerate in life. When you stop offering explanations, you send a message. You are in charge of your life, your choices, and your path. No one else gets to interpret your story without your permission. The people who truly matter will understand without explanation. The people who judge will never understand, no matter how many words you use. Stop wasting your breath on the wrong audience and start directing your energy to the people and opportunities that matter. Stop explaining, start living, and let your actions speak louder than your words ever could. Your gut is smarter than you give it credit for. It's that quiet, instinctive voice inside you that knows the right path before your mind even figures it out. Too many people ignore it, second guess it, or rationalize it away because it doesn't make sense on paper. But the truth is, your instincts are wired to guide you toward what's real, right, and necessary for your life. People often override their gut feelings with logic, fear, or other people's opinions. They start asking, what if I fail? What if it's wrong? What will they think? And in the process, they completely miss opportunities that were aligned with their purpose. Your gut doesn't worry about opinions. It only cares about truth. Learning to listen to it is the key to making decisions that move you forward. Trusting your gut requires courage. It's easy to follow the crowd or do what seems safe. But those who follow their instincts step into the unknown with confidence. The unknown is where growth, success, and fulfillment live. Every time you ignore your gut, you are allowing doubt to control your life instead of the wisdom you were born with. Your gut is shaped by experience, intuition, and your subconscious reading of situations. It knows things you might not consciously realize yet. That feeling of unease or excitement, pay attention to it. When your gut says yes, it's usually pointing you toward opportunity. When it says no, it's protecting you from harm, wasted energy, or a path that isn't yours. Too many people regret ignoring their gut later in life. They see the doors they didn't walk through, the risks they didn't take, and the decisions they compromised because they listened to fear instead of instinct. Your gut doesn't lie. It's a compass that never fails when you trust it and act on it with conviction. Listening to your gut also builds self-confidence. Each time you follow that instinct and it leads to progress or protection, you reinforce trust in yourself. You begin to understand that you don't need constant reassurance from others. You start making decisions with clarity, decisiveness, and power because you know the voice inside you has always had the right answers. The challenge is resisting the temptation to overthink, rationalize, or seek approval for gut-led decisions. Your gut is immediate, precise, and unwavering, but it's up to you to honor it. The more you practice trusting it, the sharper it becomes, and the more your life starts aligning with the path you were meant to walk. Chasing approval is a trap that keeps people living small. Too many of us spend our lives bending, compromising, and adjusting just to make someone else happy or impressed. We say yes when we want to say no. We hide our dreams because we fear judgment, and we dilute our voices because we're desperate for validation. But here's the truth. The moment you stop chasing approval is the moment you start living for yourself. Approval is fleeting. People's opinions change, their standards shift, and their attention moves on. If your happiness, confidence, and decisions are tied to what others think, you will never be free. You can work hard, achieve success, and make the right choices, and there will still be someone who doubts, criticizes, or disrespects your efforts. Chasing approval only puts your power in someone else's hands. People often confuse approval with love or acceptance. They think that if everyone likes them, they will be safe, loved, or valued. But true love, true respect, and true support come from those who accept you as you are, not from 100 people nodding along because you fit into their expectations. Chasing approval is living life according to someone else's rules, not your own. Every time you seek approval, you compromise your authenticity. You change your words, your actions, and even your dreams to fit what others expect. And in doing so, you dilute your potential. Life rewards authenticity. People are drawn to those who are unapologetically themselves, who stand firm in their beliefs, and who act with integrity regardless of judgment. The challenge is that approval feels safe. It's comfortable to follow the crowd, to echo opinions, and to avoid conflict. But comfort never leads to greatness. Growth, influence, and success require boldness. They require taking risks and standing out even when people disapprove. You will never reach your full potential if your decisions are based on approval instead of purpose. Chasing approval also slows your progress. You waste time explaining yourself, justifying choices, and tweaking your actions to satisfy others. Imagine how much more energy you'd have if you stopped worrying about what everyone else thinks. Imagine how much faster you'd move towards your goals if you focus solely on what matters to you, not to them. When you finally release the need for approval, everything changes. Your confidence grows, your clarity sharpens, and your focus becomes unstoppable. You make decisions with power, take actions with purpose, and live a life that aligns with your values. The freedom that comes from no longer chasing approval is unmatched, and it opens doors that you never even knew existed. Struggles are not a sign that you are failing. They are proof that you are alive, pushing, and growing. Life will throw challenges at you, tests that seem unfair, and moments that feel unbearable. But every struggle is an opportunity to stand taller, to dig deeper, and to discover strength you didn't know you had. The way you face your struggles defines who you are. Too many people shrink in the face of adversity. They let fear, doubt, and discouragement take over, and they allow their circumstances to dictate their attitude. But standing tall doesn't mean the struggle disappears. It means you refuse to let it break you. You acknowledge it, face it, and keep moving forward with resilience, even when everything inside you wants to quit. Struggles teach clarity and focus. When life hits you hard, distractions fall away, and you start seeing what really matters. You learn who is genuinely by your side and who is not. You begin to understand your priorities and what you are willing to fight for. Those who shy away from struggle miss the lessons that shape character, determination, and courage. Every time you face a challenge head on, you gain experience that no book, mentor, or seminar can teach. Experience is the most powerful teacher, and struggles are the classrooms. Pain, setbacks, and obstacles force you to innovate, adapt, and grow in ways comfort never could. Standing tall is about embracing those moments and using them to strengthen yourself. The people who stand tall in their struggles also inspire others. Your courage, your perseverance, and your refusal to give up become a beacon for those around you. Struggle has a way of revealing leaders because leadership is born in adversity. When you show strength in hardship, you not only survive, you influence, encourage, and elevate others. Standing tall doesn't mean hiding your pain or pretending everything is fine. It means facing reality while refusing to be defeated by it. It means acknowledging fear, frustration, and doubt while acting anyway. Those who master this skill develop an unshakable mindset, one that no external situation can break, and one that propels them toward their purpose relentlessly. The key to standing tall is not waiting for the struggle to end. It's learning to rise through it. Life will always have challenges, but your power lies in how you respond. Every setback is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you are stronger, braver, and more capable than you thought. Standing tall is a choice, a declaration that your struggles will not define or limit you. Excuses are the biggest obstacle standing between you and the life you want. Too many people spend their days justifying why they can't do something instead of figuring out how to do it. They blame circumstances, other people, or the lack of resources, and in doing so, they give away their power. Excuses are comfortable, but comfort never builds success. When you live in excuses, you rob yourself of opportunities. Every time you say, I can't, because you are letting fear, laziness, or doubt dictate your actions. The truth is there is always a way, even when it seems impossible. Every successful person you admire started in a place that looked impossible. And the only difference is that they refuse to let excuses run their life. Excuses are rooted in fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of change. They make you feel safe in stagnation while your potential goes untapped. Excuses give you an illusion of control, but in reality, they keep you small. The only way to break free is to stop blaming and start acting, no matter how hard, uncomfortable, or uncertain it feels. Too often, people let their past define their future. I failed before, so I can't succeed now. I didn't have support then, so I can't have it now. That kind of thinking keeps you trapped. The past is not an excuse. It's a lesson. The moment you stop using it as a crutch and start using it as fuel, you take the first step toward real growth. Excuses also cost you time. Time wasted explaining why something didn't work. Time spent convincing yourself that it's okay to settle, and time lost waiting for perfect conditions. Life doesn't wait. Opportunities pass by every day, and the people who succeed are the ones who act, adapt, and keep moving despite the obstacles, not the ones who rationalize them. The people who stop making excuses gain power, confidence, and clarity. They learn that action is more valuable than reasoning, that persistence beats hesitation, and that courage outweighs comfort. Every time you choose action over excuses, you strengthen your mindset and expand the possibilities for your future. Living without excuses doesn't mean life becomes easy. It means you stop letting life control you. It means you own your choices, accept the challenges, and push forward no matter what. Excuses are the chains. Action is the key. Every step you take beyond excuses moves you closer to the life you were meant to lead. Life rewards those who take bold action, not those who wait for permission or perfect timing. Playing it safe might feel comfortable, but comfort never creates success. Bold moves are the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. The moment you take that leap, you start rewriting your story and opening doors that hesitation keeps closed. Bold moves require courage. They demand stepping into the unknown, facing fear head on, and risking failure. Most people stay stuck because they are terrified of being wrong or looking foolish. But the truth is, every successful person you admire made decisions that felt risky at the time. The difference between them and everyone else is that they acted anyway. Making bold moves also means trusting yourself when no one else does. People will doubt you, criticize you, or try to discourage you. Boldness isn't about pleasing them. It's about listening to your vision and taking action despite external pressure. Confidence grows when you start relying on your instincts and taking